Hey everybody, thanks for pressing play. In this video I want to show you this car here. This is a 2019, this is a 1.6 diesel. This is what's called a Smart Plus, or if you're in England, this is what's called an SR in a Honda Civic. In this video I want to run through the features on the inside and the outside of the car. I will go for a drive in the car as well. If there's any information that you want about the car, or trading in your car, or scrapping a car, or finance, or whatever it is, just give me a shout, call, text, WhatsApp, whatever suits. 086 843 1945. Brian is my name. And Fitzpatrick's Garage, we are a family-run business in operation for over 70 years. So, driving the car starting off, the impression I'd always try and give people is that these cars, they're not like a ridiculously wide car or anything. They just feel like a wide car when you're driving them. They sit on bumps and all that kind of stuff really, really well. They make you confident when you're driving, and that's why there is independent suspension all around. And that just makes it much nicer, especially compared to the previous model of Civic, which I like to drive, but the new one was much nicer. There's good torque in the engine. This particular example drives lovely because the gearbox and the clutch and engine and everything, it's a low mileage car, so it just feels like a nice car to drive. And what's always interesting on these cars, we used to get like a really eclectic number of trade-ins against them. So you get all sorts, you get small cars, big cars, people downsizing, people upsizing, people on the same size. It just seems to attract a really diverse, there's a sheep, a really diverse customer base. So it was an interesting car I found from that point of view. It seemed to appeal to many different people for many different reasons. Today, for some reason, it is ridiculously windy, so I'll have to park in some weird kind of obscure places just so you don't end up with a ton of wind noise. Anyway, right beside a bin. But anyway, okay, so things I like on this car, right? I always like that white orchid pearl colour. I'll show you actually towards the end of the video in the sunlight. It has a really nice, shiny, reflective finish. Cool things in these, I like the daytime running lights the way they are there. I like these side markers when you're driving behind the car at night time, makes it look really wide. I'll show you that in a little while. After that then, this car specifically, we put a little splitter on the front. So they normally come with, there's 1.5 petrol on these. This is a 1.6 diesel. 1.5 petrol had little kind of chin splitters either side, and it just made the car more aggressive looking. So I think these ones deserved it as well. So if you see along here, just brings the end of the bumper slightly more aggressive and lower, and it's a HFP style one, which is similar to what you can get from, I think it's Honda factory performance in the States. Over here there is no chrome, so normally they have chrome, but I think on the white it looks better with black and white and nothing else, no chrome. Like I was talking about, so there's a really distinctive kind of shape on these cars, so when you're driving behind them at night, you just see these little side markers. It makes it look really wide. But even leaving out that, if you drive behind one of these at night anyway, you have this kind of C either side. It's just a really distinctive looking shape, so it's very, very cool when you're driving behind them at night time. And actually these light up either side as well, the two reflectors along there. So it's just an unmistakable car. Well, for me anyway, it's a shape of a car that's interesting compared to, I suppose, a lot of reasonably mundane cars that are in the market. There's a black spoiler here, there's a top colour-coded roof spoiler there. They drag air off the back of the car in the most aerodynamic way possible. And like what we talked about when you're driving, this is a 1.6 120 horsepower engine, so it is a frugal engine, it is a reliable engine, and unfortunately for people that need a diesel engine, it's getting to a point where we're starting to really run out of options. So we have people coming in to look for diesel cars. We can't offer them brand new because the makes we do, Honda, Hyundai, a lot of them are starting to abandon diesel engines. And one thing to point out, like sometimes it makes people worry, oh, should I buy a diesel engine? The only reason that we don't have diesel engines anymore is European emissions regulations. So the manufacturers are struggling to make diesel cars that comply with the regulations. But like, I don't think it's a case that all of a sudden everyone's going to decide, right, let's get rid of diesels right now. They're naturally just going to disappear over time. So if anything, actually, I think diesel cars, if they're low mileage, in good condition, they'll just end up becoming quite desirable because they really won't have much options left. For a lot of people, this could be the last time you get a chance to buy a low mileage diesel car, and then after that you're possibly moving into something hybrid or electric. And it's not that it's like the hybrid car's any better, it's just you won't have a choice, and that's it. So if anything, I think these diesel cars will be desirable second-hand, just because lack of choice. Bang for buck, anyone that's doing motorway mileage, a diesel car has been king and is still king. It's still the most economical vehicle on the road. Okay, actually now, while I cop onto it, while we're in the sunlight, this is what I was talking about. Look at the colour. Do you see the kind of fleck, sort of pattern that's in it? It's really, really, really nice in the sunlight. Anyway, it was just something I want to show you. So it's not like a standard flat white. If you look at a Hyundai, that's a normal flat white, whereas this one is an actual pearl finish. So it looks really cool. Okay, other things then, if you're familiar with the cars we have, then you'll know I'll always say that we've had 4 of these cars at home, for the reason being this boot is flexible because we always have that back. Put a buggy in there, Under here there will be extra storage. Okay, it doesn't have a spare wheel. You can get a spare wheel if you want, but there's a massive load area there. And then if you want, they will fold forward, so you end up with this absolutely gigantic load area. So it's a very flexible car, but when we go on holidays to load up the boot, it's excellent. He's got some flexibility as well, so I can turn on the lights or turn them off, or then I can actually open the windows, or more to the point for a lot of people, I can bring in the wing mirrors and also close up the windows as well from the key. The wheels on these cars as well, they're a nice diamond cut finish, so see that are kind of shiny, reflective. They look lovely at night time under artificial light, or when it's on a sunny day as well. From a pragmatic point of view, okay, sorry, so the door here, brushed aluminium tweeter speaker, so you get like 2 speakers in every door, 3 head restraints, 3 3-point safety belts, Isofix, big armrest, drinks holder in the centre, kangaroo pocket over there, fine. Size? Ooh, okay. So this is the height you're looking at, nice black roof liner, which is quite sporty as well. And even with my seat kind of tilted back a bit, I still have good leg room as well, and that's to give you an idea of what you're like if you're 6 foot. This car actually, so it's got nice low mileage on the car. So it was actually owned by Honda Ireland at the start, and then it was purchased from Honda Ireland by one of the people, actually the sales director, his son bought it, and then he's got a company car. So we have now acquired it because we're actually based quite close to the main Honda distributor. Okay, down here, so aluminium pedals, usual electrics for windows and mirrors down through there, automatic wipers, automatic lights. The seat that I'm in is height adjustable. The lumbar support is for your lower back. The steering wheel then is rake reach, so it goes in and out and up and down. At the time of the video, the car is sitting at 29,900, so nearly 30,000 kilometers. Which, and I apologise about the sales pitch, is friggin' hard to get on a 3-year-old diesel car, if I'm honest, but they were based in an area that wouldn't require much driving. USB down through there, another USB down through there. You can also play video from a HDMI up through there. There's an 12 volt outlet in through there. Automatic park brake. Gearbox is lovely, as you saw when we were driving. Econ if you want to reduce how aggressive the cruise control and air conditioner is, and also it gives you a little eco warning in through here as well, depending on how aggressive you're driving. The climate control is touch and swipe. Air conditioning on or off where you want the air to blow. Different temperatures on each side of the car. There's a little area that I can pull wires up from down there to leave my phone sitting here or whatever. And then after that, the car has front and rear park sensors, and it also has a reverse camera. And in through here, it has Garmin navigation, but most people are probably going to use the smartphone connection, so you can use Google Maps and Spotify and Audible and all that kind of stuff via Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. The steering wheel then has some cruise control functions, but what's neat on them is, so I'm just using that right hand side, I can turn on adaptive cruise, so it will follow the car in front. If they slow down, you slow down. Got a lane keep, that's going to try and keep me in the centre of the lane. I've got a speed limiter, but I've also got a speed limiter that respects speed signs. So if you go into an area and you're exceeding the speed zone, it will reduce your speed for you. After that then, Bluetooth and stuff, you'd expect that. Volume controls for radio, you'd expect that. And that's trip computer for average speed, fuel efficiency, all that kind of stuff in through there. And because it's Smart Plus then, that is a leather steering wheel and a leather gear knob. Sounds like a small thing, but it actually makes it a lot nicer to use. I'm sure I'm missing something, right? Oh, sorry, I know I'm missing stuff, but just for most people, actually safety-wise, driver, passenger side, curtain airbags, this anti-whiplash so your head doesn't go as far backwards. You saw it's got things like lane keep assist, it's got a braking mechanism. If you don't hit the brakes, it'll try and stop you if you're about to impact an object. There's loads of safety stuff on these cars. So anyway, if you want basically one of the last, as far as I can see, diesel cruisers, you don't want a big friggin' 5 Series or A6 or something like that. You want a car that's nice to drive in terms of driving pleasure, good power, good economy, and like Crescenti, probably one of the last diesel cars you'll have the opportunity to buy, then this is definitely worth considering. And this is a nice low mileage example, so I think the person who's going to buy it is looking for a platform that are going to munch up some mileage until, you know, for 5 or 6 years, and that's probably where we are. So in terms of trading in your car, scrapping car, whatever it is, financing, if you want to know about this car, the kind of servicing we do or the warranties we do, call, text, WhatsApp, whatever suits, 086 843 1945. Brian is my name. Hopefully the video's been useful, and thanks a million for watching.